You make a decision and before you've even finished making it, the doubt is creeping in. What if that was wrong? What if I've just made everything 10 times worse? So you message your mate and you ask them what they think and you still feel uncertain. And you've been doing this your whole life. There's a reason this keeps happening. And when you understand where it actually comes from, everything makes complete sense. This pattern gets built when you're young and you're figuring life out. Maybe the adults around you were unpredictable, moods shifted without any warning, and you worked out very quickly that your survival depended on getting it right. If you got it wrong, you paid for it. So your body started learning. You learned to clock the room the second you walked into it. You got good at reading what other people needed before they even said a word. You put their moods ahead of your own instincts because your instincts got you hurt. And every time you trusted yourself and it went badly, your body kept a receipt. Every time you read the room right and stayed safe, it reinforced it. See? This works. This keeps me safe. And every time it went the other way, see, I was right. I can't trust myself. Your body doesn't forget that. It doesn't care if you're 30, 40 or 50 now. It doesn't care that the environment is different. It's still running the same program it wrote back then. Fast forward to now, you're an adult, you're safe, and you still can't make a decision without checking with someone first. Maybe this feels familiar to you. You're about to make a big career change and you need 10 different people to tell you it's the right move. You like someone and you can't send a message without running it by your mate first. And when you do make a decision on your own, you immediately doubt it. You replay the whole thing, wondering if you got it wrong. There's this voice in the back of your head saying, you're gonna mess this up if you trust yourself. So you look for someone else to confirm that you've got it right. And even when they do, the doubt is still there. It doesn't settle. It just sits there. And the next decision comes along and then it all starts again. And the exhausting part about this is nobody around you can see it. From the outside, you look like you're someone who just likes to ask for advice. From the inside, you know you can't function without it. Think about being in school. You know the answer. You put your hand up, you get it wrong, and everyone laughs. So you stop putting your hand up. You start checking with your mate before you say anything, and years later, you still know the answer. You're completely certain, but your hand won't go up without checking first. That's what's happening in your life right now. Your body learns at some point trusting yourself ends badly, and it's been making decisions based on that ever since. And you can understand this completely. You can sit here knowing exactly where it came from and why, and your body will still flinch when it's actually time to choose something. The understanding lives in your head. The pattern lives in your body. And every time you hand it over to someone else instead of making the call yourself, you're teaching your body, see, I can't do this alone. You're reinforcing the exact loop that you're trying to break. And the more you do it, the louder the doubt gets next time. And breaking this pattern actually has 4 stages. The first is recognizing the root cause. Where did you learn that your instincts couldn't be trusted? How old were you and what was happening around you? That experience shaped who you became. The person who needs reassurance, who can't make a call without running it past someone else first. That's who you had to become to stay safe. And underneath it all is an emotion that never got felt. It could be shame, it could be fear, it could be grief. But something got buried when that belief got built. And it's been running the show ever since. Most people never get here. They understand the pattern and they stop. The work is what comes after that awareness. The second stage is actually feeling that emotion. Whatever got locked away when that belief got built, you sit with it. You let it be there without running from it or trying to fix it. And you start small. A moment here, a moment there, just long enough to feel it and stay okay. And you do that again and again and again until the emotion that once felt unbearable starts to loosen its grip. That's when it moves. The third is shifting that response. This is where the decisions come in. Small choices where you back yourself and you don't hand it over and you sit with whatever comes up. Every time you do that and nothing falls apart, your body writes a new conclusion. Maybe I can't trust myself. Maybe it's safe to choose. And you build from there until the new response starts to feel more natural than the old one. The fourth step is when you realize this version of you feels better. And more than that, it feels real and authentic. The person who trusts themselves, who makes a decision and stands by it. That's who you actually are beneath everything you've built to survive. And as you live from that place more and more, your life starts to reflect it. The relationships, the work, the way you show up, your external world becomes a mirror of who you actually are. That's the mask coming off. Most people never get past the first stage because nobody tells them there's anywhere else to go. I lived like this for years. Every decision I made, I ran through what would happen if I got it wrong. I needed approval. I needed to stay safe. I needed reassurance before I could do anything. I built a whole life based on what other people thought I should do. And I woke up one day and I genuinely didn't recognize it. That's what happens when you can't trust yourself. You end up living on someone else's version of your life. When I got sober, I had to rebuild this from scratch. And one of the first proper decisions I had to make was where to live. Thailand, Bali, or Vietnam. I asked everyone, my mum, my mates, random people I'd only just met, even Google, and everyone had a different opinion. And I just sat there waiting for somebody to give me the right answer. I remember feeling so uncomfortable. Everything in me was screaming, just ask one more person. Go and check TikTok, go check YouTube. Just find someone who's gonna confirm this is the right call. And I didn't. I sat with it. I asked myself, what do I actually want here? And I chose, and it felt like mine. And I've messed up a lot. I still do, to be fair. But over time, I started to trust myself again. One decision at a time. You go small. What do you actually want to say in that message? Make the decision and sit with the discomfort of having made it. You don't need to immediately ask someone if you've got it right. Nothing bad happens, and then you do it again and again. Your body has spent years learning that your instincts can't be trusted. It's not going to believe you after one choice. The doubt is going to come up every single time in the beginning. That is normal. That's supposed to happen. You're asking your body to do the thing it's most afraid of. Of course, it's going to push back, but over time, something will change. Maybe it's safe for me to actually make a decision. Maybe I can actually do this. And the decisions that used to feel like they would break you start to feel like yours. The next time you notice you're about to hand it over, pause, ask yourself, what do I actually want here? And choose from that. You've spent years being taught by your own body that your instincts are wrong. You have to unlearn that slowly. Over time, your body will learn, I can trust myself. And that is when it shifts. Look, you can keep asking everyone else what to do for the rest of your life, or you can actually work through all 4 of those stages properly. You can work with somebody who's been through it themselves. Book a call. The link is below. I learned how to rebuild trust in myself, and you can too.